better cock your pistols.
Good evening, Miss Lennox. What can I tell you? I just had this craving for some teppanyaki.
I hear you're serving the champ's table.
Yeah, that's me.
You don't seem too happy about it.
Serving the champ, I'm very happy about. He's a great tipper. Now, it's working for the guy who owns this place that has me teed up. You know, for 5 years I've been here, and still he treats me like an apprentice.
You okay?
I'm dizzy. I've got to get some air.
Rock, we've got to talk.
Marcia, please.
Darling, let's relax, huh? Could you call the exchange and see if there are messages from the hospital?
I'll be right back.
Enjoy. Mr. Lennox, enjoy.
Hey, Mr. Lennox.
All the best to you.
No. The doc and his lady gonna sit here. You'll be fine over there.
Sure, champ.
Well, look at him. The chump. For now, that is. Not after Saturday, though. Bubba Dex. Gonna be the next champ. You got my personal word on that.
Well, wait a minute, Bubba. Why don't I go out to the car and get the accordion? I mean, if we're gonna do the act, we might as well have some music, right?
It's not worth it, champ. You know that.
Honey, please don't.
Please.
Don't.
Oh, please. Not here. This way, please.
Take it easy, champ. Come on.
You set that up, didn't you? Photographer and all.
Yeah. I wanted you to have a little look at the creative promotion that you're gonna lose, champ. Now, those pictures they just took are not just for the sport pages. They're for the front page. They're gonna be in every newspaper in the country. I'm the best promotion manager you'll ever have, champ.
Yeah, well, after Saturday, the only way I'm ever gonna see you again will be as a sparring partner.
Come on, darling, please. No more upset. We came here to enjoy ourselves, huh? Rock.
I've got them in the other room. By the time they get their check, you'll be on your way.
No sweat, Sam. Just a sideshow.
We've got to talk.
Houston! Janie Lennox is here.
She's early, CJ. I'll be there in a minute.
Okay.
She was murdered by mistake, Mr. Houston. That man was trying to kill my husband.
Well, no, that's a pretty big jump, isn't it, Mrs. Lennox?
It's the third time something's happened in the last 2 weeks.
There have been other attempts on his life?
Someone tampered with the brakes of his car a week ago Tuesday. All the fluid was drained out. He told me that it could have been a loose piece of pavement ricocheting up from underneath the tire. Maybe I wouldn't have thought any differently, but last Sunday, I'm sorry.
No, listen, it's all right now. See, can I get you a drink or something?
No, I don't drink, Mr. Houston. Well, I mean, that's not exactly true. The Rock, he doesn't like it when I drink. He's kind of a stick in the mud that way.
Yeah. Listen, you were talking about last Sunday. You want to go on with that?
The Rock likes to shoot on a target range. He says that it relaxes him. Somebody out there took a shot at him. If he hadn't turned to talk to me just then, it would have killed him.
Mrs. Lennox, do you think this has anything to do with the coming fight?
I don't know. All I know, Mr. Houston, is my husband won't let me go to the police. And I'm just so scared. Can you help me, please?
I'm sure gonna try. All right?
Client was right. Marcia Bingham was killed by mistake. But The Rock wasn't the victim. The proprietor here, Sam Shima, was.
Well, this is beginning to look like one of those TV game shows. I mean, will the real intended victim please stand up?
Shima was the real intended victim. The chef who threw the knife, and he had a real nasty argument.
Nasty enough to slice up his boss instead of the bean sprouts?
From what I hear tell, this guy has a real hot head. But the arresting officer said that he was a piece of cake.
You mean you already picked him up?
I thought you knew. We found him in the middle of the street last night, stumbling around.
You mean like he was drunk?
Now, he was putting on the dazed look, acting incoherent, babbling, probably setting up himself for a insanity defense. Take it easy.
Yeah, later, Vance.
Houston, you've got that something's very wrong here look on your face.
Well, CJ, it just is not right to me. I mean, anyone with the talent to throw a knife the way they did in here last night is probably not going to hire himself out for brake line work, meaning the champ's brake line.
Or take a shot at him at a shooting range.
That's right, CJ. I mean, I've seen the chefs work in here before. Now, they have to be very skilled, very precise, and have to have an awful lot of concentration going for them. Now, if this fella was as disoriented as Novelli says he was when he picked him up, he'd have cut his fingers off before he could ever draw a bead on the boss.
But Houston, he was the chef at the table, wasn't he?
Was he, CJ? I mean, think about it. Now, we know Rock and his party had to be very preoccupied with watching the chefs do their show. We know the owner was because the place was packed.
In other words, what you're saying is that everybody saw a chef at a table, but nobody was really paying any attention. So the hothead that the police officers arrested could have been just about anybody.
It's food for thought, CJ.
That's a terrible pun, Houston.
Yes, it is.
Here it this way. I say there are puzzles here. The Rock is a 6-1 favorite, and yet he seems, yes, I have to say, yet he seems intimidated by challenger Bubba Dax and his histrionics. The Rock's no youngster. He's been the champ a long time. There are those who
shake hands for the photographers, gentlemen. Shake hands.
Shake hands with a chump. Man, I don't shake hands with people I don't respect. I make them bleed.
Fine, I'll see you in the ring.
Hey, punk, don't turn your back on me. What's with you, huh?
Come on, take it easy, take it up. Look at one split lip or cut eye and you throw the match away.
Come on, we can go at it right now, man. Huh? We ain't gotta wait till fight time. Right here.
Of course, it was going to...
Right here, right now. I'll knock him out, man. I'm gonna surprise the world. I'm gonna knock you out.
I don't want to hear what a terrific promoter you are again, man.
Well, you ought to think about it, because if it wasn't for me, nobody would even know your name. I put this package together. I made the deal for the pay TV and the cable. I promoted the T-shirts and the breakfast food endorsements and all those other little goodies. I did all of that.
Yeah, well, what else did you do, huh? The accountants are looking the books over right now, and the ripples I'm hearing ain't none too good. You go steal for somebody else.
Take these.
Look, I can explain all that, champ. You're not gonna ruin me, Rock. Listen, I worked 10 years getting you the breaks, but I can turn it around real quick.
Excuse me.
Hey, we're having a conversation here. You...
Seemed like it was getting a little one-sided there at the end.
Oh, really? Well, just who are you? What do you want?
Well, I'm sorry. My name's Matt Houston, and, well, I'm looking into the possibility that that knife that was thrown last night was intended for the Rock.
The police say the chef was responsible, an argument with the guy who owns the place.
Well, I think the police are going to find out that they're wrong, and they're going to expand their investigation a little bit. And, you know, I'll bet they'll even want to talk to you.
Anytime. I'll be around.
You're Dr. Kolzak, aren't you? Yeah, the sports doctor. Listen, I saw you on a television talk show. You're great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Listen, you were with The Rock last night. Have you got any ideas about what happened out there?
I haven't been able to think about it. The murdered woman, Marcia, she was more than my nurse. She was very important in my life, Mr. Houston.
Yeah. My sympathies go out to you, sir.
She was loved by everyone. Now she gets in the way of a knife. Tragic accident.
No, because somebody's trying to kill The Rock.
Where did you get that notion?
Well, Janie Lennox, The Rock's wife. I mean, she told me about all the attempts on his life.
I'm afraid Janie isn't a very reliable source. She's a sick woman.
What do you mean, sick?
An alcoholic.
Are you trying to tell me that you don't think those attempts really happened?
Oh, there was one. It's just not that Janie Lennox is an alcoholic. Mr. Houston, she's a violent drunk.
Well, how violent?
Enough to attack her husband with a butcher knife.
Lennox? Janie? Matt Houston? Anybody home? Janie? 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 Seems like the lady fell off the wagon after a screaming match with The Rock. After I took the knife out of her hand, all she could say was, "I'm sorry, Rock. I'm sorry, Rock."
Not I'm sorry, Mr. Houston, or...
Kind of weird, huh?
What's weird is that she doesn't try and get some help.
That's because she won't admit she's got the disease. What'd baby come up with?
Well, Kip Williams. Now, he had to pull quite a few strings to cover up the attack on Rock, and he has a police record from the time when he hired a hood to beat up on one of his first clients.
That's because the client was threatening him with one of those independent audits. I mean, Rock's doing the same thing right now.
Well, some people will do anything to keep from being audited.
You're telling me? How do you think I lost my hair? Sign here, initial here and here.
Murray, what's this?
Latest line in the Lennox Dax fight. A slight overnight shift. The champ was 6-1, now he's down to 4-1.
Listen, Murray, you're the sports expert here.
Well, statistics are my life, so naturally I know everything there is to know about sports.
Yeah. Well, tell me something. If something happened to the champ, who'd be next in line to fight Bubba Dax?
Second-ranked contender, Danny Gonzalez. Bubba do a lot better with him than The Rock. A whole lot better. Come this fight, The Rock is going to blow him out of the ring.
Oh, right, Murray. There you go. Don't forget your pen. Yeah, listen, CJ, now suppose I am Bubba Dax, and I know the champ is going to blow me out of the ring, unless I can figure out a way to eliminate him before I ever step into that ring. Now, I know the next logical fight is Gonzalez, and I know I can whoop him. CJ, there are millions of dollars at stake in a championship fight. Now, I could be set up for life.
Well, it's a good motive.
Yeah.
Now, Dax has a history of assault. Go back to his days in Diebirds, and he learned to box in prison.
Well, if it's not the good sports doctor, Dr. Warren Kozak.
More of a celebrity than most of his clients. Runs with a very fast group, jet set, movie stars, married more times than Jaja, that sort of thing.
Mr. Lennox, I'm sorry. You can't. No, if you don't have an appointment, Mr. Lennox, this is not.
Champ!
What the hell have you done to my wife?
I wasn't aware I'd done anything.
She's off the wagon, man. I had her sober, her head was together, and all of a sudden you're on some kind of case the cops have already solved, and my wife got a quart of booze in her.
Look, Janie came to me because she was very worried about you.
And instead of telling her there was nothing for her to be worried about, you got to make a big deal out of a bunch of accidents could have happened to anybody.
Yeah, but it didn't just happen to anybody.
Hey, my wife is not a strong woman, Houston. But didn't you notice? She cracks easy, she breaks easy, she scares easy.
Why would Matt Houston want to scare your wife?
How the hell do I know? They tell me you rich, so I guess it ain't some kind of money scam. Maybe you one of those guys who like doing head trips on people. Don't make no difference. You're fired.
Now, listen, I tell you, only my clients can fire me, and you're not my client.
Stay away from my wife, man. A word to the wise.
Houston, you must pack quite a wallop.
Houston, you just staggered the champ. I don't believe it.
Well,
Staggered? You staggered the champ? Maybe he wavered, deciding whether to have you for breakfast or lunch.
It seemed like he lost his balance for a second.
So he tripped.
Are you sure I couldn't have hurt him? I mean, that was a pretty good punch I gave him.
Mr. Houston, what do you do when you get up in the morning?
Well, I generally read the newspaper, then I swim some laps in my pool.
Uh-huh. Well, the champ, he runs 10 or 12 miles, and he hits the heavy bag and the speed bag on and off all day long. And then for variety, he gets in the ring with other guys that have the same daily routine. And he lets them try and hurt him. Your conscience can be clear, Mr. Houston.
Yeah, I tried to tell my associates that. I mean, there's no way a normal guy can hurt a professional boxer.
That's right.
Yeah, unless maybe that professional boxer has got some kind of medical condition.
Well, if there's one physical condition I know inside and out, it's the champ's. Here, let me show you. We should all be in that kind of shape.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. This is all Greek to me, so I think I'm just going to have to take your word for it, but I did have to double check.
You mean it's something I should double check?
I would appreciate it.
I'll show you out. I started cleaning her desk up, putting her things together, but I just wasn't up to it.
Pretty girl.
It was very special. We have the church book for next month, the 23rd.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
Oh, you got it. It was nice. You got it. Take a break.
Bubba Dax, talk to you for a minute.
Man, you're breaking my concentration. No more autographs.
No, I'm not looking for an autograph, partner. I just want to talk to you for a
You
minute.
better say what you're doing here, or he's gonna pick you up and turn you around.
Oh, no, that's not necessarily. My name's Matt Houston. I'm a detective, and I'm working on Marcia Bingham's death.
Well, maybe we better talk.
I think so.
Joe Louis was a quiet champion. He died broke. Muhammad Ali, he shook him up. Now understand this. The loser of this fight will take home $3 million.
So what you're saying is basically this whole thing's a hype. I mean, the animosity between you and The Rock, huh?
Well, ain't no love between us. I won't lie to you about that. This is business. Man, this is my chance.
Well, I tell you, somebody I know said you'd have a much better shot at Gonzalez.
So you figure I'd have somebody throw a knife at The Rock to take care of that for me, huh?
Well, the thought had crossed my mind.
4-1. 4-1. I may be 4-1, but The Rock is gonna know what it feels like to hurt. Man, I'm in better shape than I've been in my whole life. I'm gonna surprise the world, man. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. Kill him. I'm gonna kill him. But legally.
Legally is much better. It's the way to go, yeah. Excuse me, Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, hold up there a minute. Kind of like to talk to you. Mr. Williams. What? Mr. Williams. Listen, I just want to talk to you from that there, all right? Now, hold up a minute.
Hi there. Who's that taking off in such a hurry?
Kip Williams.
Well, what's he doing out here with the opposition?
Very good question, CJ, and I intend to find out. Now, what brings you out here?
You have a phone call from a gentleman named Ukio Kanui.
I don't believe I've ever met a man by that name.
That's because you haven't seen the list of knife throwers that Baby has compiled.
What do you want?
He wants to talk to you about the murder of Marcia Bingham. Now, how fast can you get to Little Tokyo?
dead. Beginning to feel like Jack the Giant Killer. Every time I take a swing at somebody, they collapse.
Come on, Houston, you didn't kill this guy. The stuff from his locker confirms what the coroner said. It's a strong possibility he died from an insulin overdose. The man was a diabetic.
Vance, I talked to CJ. Now, if Baby's facts are straight on this fella, he's about as cold-blooded as they come. I mean, to set up that stunt at the steakhouse, posing as a chef at Lennox's table.
Houston, we have no proof the guy we took out of here is the killer.
Vance, he's got to be the killer. I mean, think about it. I mean, he's known for using knives. I mean, he sets up this whole trap for me out here. I mean, the fella you picked up certainly didn't do it.
What are you looking for?
A connection, Vance. I mean, here I am fighting with this fella. He stands up, staggers, and he falls. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Now, the chef that you picked up...
Mr. Akira.
Right. Now, he was reported to be in the same condition, staggering around. He was incoherent also.
Yeah, but Akira was not a diabetic on insulin.
But I bet you $1 he was on something, Vince, whether he knew it or not. Now, you're going to have to cut him loose, at least set him out on bail. And when you do, I've got to talk to him.
I felt sick. I was on my way to Mr. Lennox's table. All of a sudden, the room started spinning. Thank you. I thought I was going to suffocate, so I went out for some air.
Right. Now, before all that, can you remember anything different at all?
There wasn't much to remember. I got into an argument with my boss, Mr. Shima. I got angry, I lost my temper.
Yeah, and that happened in the kitchen, right?
Yes. Then I thought to go back to my table. Better to work it out, I thought, not to brood.
But you never got back to Rock's table.
No. Another chef must have taken my place.
Listen, I want you to think real hard. Now, did you eat or drink anything different before that happened, just before it happened? No, I mean, did you feel anything different, like a little scratch or a bite or a...
Yes. Yes, it's funny that you mention it, but I was passing by one of the chefs, and I felt this pain on my leg.
And that's when everything went dizzy, right? CJ, I knew it. Now, think real hard. Now, what did the man look like, the chef?
I can't. I only saw his back.
I'll tell you something. Novelli's probably got a mugshot of that man, and if he does, it might just jar the memory of all the folks at the table that night.
Janie, do you recognize this man? We think he's the one who threw the knife. He died last night.
I think it was him. I think he was the chef. Oh, I don't know. There was just so much commotion going on that night, you know, with all that stuff with Bubba Dax and all. Did I really come at you with a knife?
You really weren't yourself, Janie.
Wasn't I? Well, I mean, you know, I can really tie them on, you know. But when it's time to stop, it's really time to stop, and I'm gonna have to do something about that.
You'll never stop. You're an alcoholic.
No, now, don't say that. I'm not an alcoholic, crying out loud.
What are you then? A social drinker? Maybe you started out that way. Maybe other people are, but not you. You're an alcoholic.
No!
It's no secret to anybody, Janie. You're a drunk, and you'll never be anything else until you admit it.
No!
Houston, you got about a minute to get out of here or wind up in a hospital.
You know, it seems like you love the lady an awful lot. Except you want her to be strong enough to ask for help, and you can't do that.
I don't need help. All I need is you out of here.
So what are you gonna do? You gonna punch me in the nose? Show me that you're a tough guy, huh? Show me how strong you are? Well, do me a favor. Teach her how to be strong, would you?
Please.
All right. The lady drinks a bit. I know that's the phrase they seem to use. But have you ever stopped to wonder why? Man, she is frightened. She's been frightened for years. Every time you climb into the ring, she knows there's another guy waiting there who's gonna do his best to bash your brains in. If that's not enough, now you got somebody trying to kill you. And you're too damn mule-headed to ask for help. I tell you, you two are a real pair. Both of you drowning. Too proud to ask for help. I'll tell you something. Unless one of you asks for some help, I don't believe either one of you is going to survive this thing.
I'm alcoholic. I'm an alcoholic.
Now, CJ, The Rock promised Janie that this was going to be his last fight, win, lose, or draw. And he also said he had an awful lot to talk to me about, but only after the fight.
Well, I'm happy for Janie, and as for his talking to you after the fight, it makes perfect sense.
Well, does it? I mean, think about it. Why is he putting me off? What's he got to hide?
Well, you asked me first.
Yeah, I know, CJ. Listen, I just got this problem. See, now, Dr. Kozak is The Rock's doctor. Now, Marcia Bingham, the dead woman, is that doctor's nurse. Now, I think we ought to look a little deeper into Marcia Bingham.
You're inferring she was the intended victim.
The thought had crossed my mind, yes.
That would change everything.
Yes, it would.
Now, Houston, hold on. This is not your normal line of country, so you be careful.
Yes, it will.
Oh, hi.
Bye.
I didn't know a man's features could twist themselves into a question mark. What's on your mind, Murray?
Yesterday, the odds on The Rock were overwhelming, as they should have been. Bubba Dax is not in his league.
And they dropped a little bit more?
Now they dropped a bit more. And big money is coming in. The latest line at Fat Lenny's is 3-2 for Bubba Dax.
Murray, check that out, because that means somebody knows something we don't know. We better figure out what it is fast and tell Houston, because the fight's just in a few hours.
Ought to cover the damage. Tried all day to talk to The Rock, no luck. Got to tell him what I found out before it's too late.
entre de Dios.
You can say that again.
Ladies and gentlemen, this preliminary fight has turned into a real slugfest.
Get it, baby. Get it to him, buddy. Come on. Looking good. You're looking good tonight.
Somebody better help that boy, baby. I'm gonna kill him.
Bubba.
Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye.
CJ, you wanted me to check on where the bets against the Rock are coming from. Hold your hat.
They all come from one man.
One man. All different bookies, here to Vegas, but one man. How did you know?
Well, I figured it was the same man who was in the Army with a certain knife throw. It all traces back to Kip Williams.
That's right. The Rock's own promoter is betting against them.
You got it.
Houston.
Houston, what happened to you?
I just got myself out of a very messy situation.
What, you want to run that by us again?
Well, CJ, somebody up there likes me, somebody down here does not.
Huh?
Yeah, Murray, it's a long story. You had to be there. Now, has anything happened on the home front?
Well, we think we know who's behind the knife throwing. Kip Williams.
We've got him tied to the betting action against the Rock and to the knife thrower that killed Marcia Bingham by mistake. But Houston, what I don't understand is why would somebody bet against the Rock and then try to kill him?
Well, that's what's been throwing us all along, Murray. You see, they didn't really want to kill him. Marcia Bingham was the intended victim all the time.
But Houston, why?
Well, I'll explain all that later, but right now I've got to get my head under some cold water and get out of these clothes for your benefit and mine. Now, call Vance. Time to meet me at the fight, all right?
Wallace throws it right to left. Another right, still another left. Woodcock's midsection. He throws it right to the head. Woodcock is staggered and he goes down. The crowd is going crazy. The count begins. 2, 3.
1 minute, champ.
If anything happens to me, I want you to promise me as my friend you'll make sure Janie's taken care of.
Don't even talk like that. You're the champ. You're gonna get it done, hear me? Come on.
Gentlemen, I can't make a prediction on this fight. I'm afraid that's all for now. The champ will talk to you after the fight, okay? Good night, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Excuse me, Kip Williams. I'd like you to meet Police Lieutenant Novelli. This is Kip Williams. He's a bad guy.
What's all this about?
I believe it's called being arrested for murder.
Kip Williams, you have the right to remain silent. You have the right to an attorney. No, you made me lose my place. Now let's start all over again. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to an attorney.
I think you got everything handled here, Vance. I'm gonna go have a little chat with the champ.
Okay. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Houston. Hey, in case you haven't noticed, the Rock's due at a fight.
Well, maybe what I have to say will affect the fight.
Hey, there's no time now.
Even if I tell you I've solved the case?
All right, shoot.
The night Marcia Bingham was killed in that restaurant, she said she had something very important to talk to you about. And that's when she leaned over to you.
Yeah, well, I don't have the slightest idea what it was about, if that's what you're asking.
Is that right, champ? You see, I think you knew exactly what it was she wanted to talk to you about. Or at least you thought you did.
And wait just a minute.
No, you wait a minute. Just wait. Now, you thought she wanted to talk to you about getting out of boxing like she'd done so many times before. But that wasn't it. You see, she's this man's nurse. She just wanted to tell you that she knew your secret.
What are you talking about? That's preposterous.
All right. You see, I got this problem. The doc here can tell you all about it, but what it boils down to is I get dizzy. And if I take the wrong punch, I buy the farm. I die. But man, I got bills to pay. What Kip Williams didn't steal from me just went. I knew you'd find out about it. That's why I didn't want you on this case.
So you thought you'd just take a nice, easy punch, huh? And just slide down for the count?
Leave me alone, Houston. I got a fight to lose.
Yeah, well, I'm sure glad you got good friends like the doctor here. I mean, to get you through the bad times. I mean, to give you the pills to get over those dizzy spells. And maybe those pills are what caused the dizzy spells. You ever think about that, huh? The night Marcia Bingham died, all she wanted to talk to you about was that she knew the real truth, that you were not sick at all. You're just fine. There's nothing wrong with you. See, the good doctor here and your promoter, they set you up. They made you think you were sick so you'd throw the fight. And I'll tell you something, partner. They've bet everything they've got on the other side of the fence.
Houston, you don't know what you're talking about. Rock don't believe a word he's saying.
You ready to go down for the count?
No more talking, Motormouth. The ring's that way.
Yeah. You're gonna be laying in it.
Quickly, circle once, and the challenger attacks, throwing two rights and a left. The champ ducks a right and comes back with a left, followed by a right, which sends the challenger into the ropes. These two men mean business, and this reporter would be very surprised if this contest goes short in the first round. Ooh, the challenger throws a right, which misses, and then another right to the champ's midsection. They are now standing in the middle of the ring, toe-to-toe, trading punches. Neither man is getting the advantage, but they're both taking terrific punishment. Now parries a jab, ducks a right, and floors the challenger with a thundering left. The challenger is down. But what's this? I don't believe it. He's back on his feet. The two gladiators are back in the middle of the ring, trading body blows. The champ gets an opening, plants a right to the stomach, a left to the jaw, another left, and the challenger comes back with a shot to the stomach, and the champ answers with a wicked three-punch combination. The challenger is stunned. He tries to rally, but the champ lands a tremendous right to the head, staggering the challenger. And the champ throws another right, which sends the challenger to the mat. And it doesn't take an expert to know that he won't be getting up this time. The winner, and still champion of the world, Jerry the Rock Lennox.
Man, you got one hell of a ride.
The press thinks I'm just blowing smoke, but I mean it. I'm retired.
Well, you went out a champion. You can't really ask for any more than that, can you?
Well, I figure me and Jane can get it together. Maybe look for a couple kids on the way.
Sounds like a great idea.
Well, listen to you two. You got my life all planned. If we'd kept them waiting any longer, they would have put us out to pasture.
Well, you know, as pretty as you two are, it was well worth the wait.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Okay, take us out and show us off. Where are we going?
Well, I tell you, CJ, now, The Rock and I were talking this whole thing over, and, I mean, you both look beautiful. It's just that, see, we're a little frayed around the edges, so I thought...
Houston, you promised us dinner.
Dinner you want? Dinner you got?
Right.
Lei rollare on the bar. Presto, presto!
Rock, you're gonna love this food. It's just what I told you. I mean, it's great. Go on, dig in.
Gli spaghettini e I ravioli, eh?
Oh, yes.
Mrs. Rock. E I cannelloni e la lasagna.
You know, ever since I put on my first pair of gloves, I've had to watch my weight. I mean, I used to dream about food like this. Nightmares, really, because I knew I could never touch it. But no more.
I think he really is retiring.
Yeah, now I know he is.
Yeah, Mama, I tell you, you better send the fellas back for seconds, because I think this is going to turn out to be a night of championship eating, don't you?
cock your pistols.
Must be an extra special VIP list for Houston to throw a party at such short notice.
His invitation list looks like a who's who of international dollars. Oh, here comes someone now. Ah, how very nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. I'm Murray Chase, Mr. Houston's vice president in charge of various things. And you're... Please, don't tell me. Mr. Houston sent me a telegram with all of your names on it. Oh, what did I do with that telegram? General, I think?
Malcolm Abercrombie, and this is my wife, Celeste.
Lady Celeste. I'm Murray Chase.
Yes, so you said.
Derwin Dunlop. Yes, indeed. The Derwin Dunlop. The genius who invented the Exodus home computer.
I'm very anxious to meet with the great Mr. Houston and to do business with him.
Oh, yes, indeed. It isn't often one gets a personal invitation in the form of a telegram to get in on the ground floor of a multi-million-dollar Houston Industries ploy.
Well, right this way, please. Thank you. Oh, just make yourselves comfortable and I will join you in just a moment. Girls, thank you very much. I really appreciate you doing this.
A Sunday afternoon, you're lucky to find us in.
Well, it's like I said, I didn't even know about it myself until this morning. But, you know, I can't figure out still why Houston didn't phone me. I mean, why did he send me a telegram instead?
CJ, you know, I still can't figure out why Murray sent me a telegram. I mean, instead of calling me on the phone, you know how he loves to talk on the phone.
Well, Houston, you know how Murray is. He probably got overly excited when he got a call from the aide to the Vice President of the United States asking to have drinks in your office.
Yeah, well, I tell you, I feel like a penguin in this get-up.
I wouldn't know, Houston. I've never dated a penguin.
Yeah. Well, CJ, listen, would you remind me to get away from the Vice President as soon as possible? I got something real important to do tonight.
Houston, what could be more important than being the keynote speaker at a banquet honoring the Vice President of the United States?
I'll tell you something. I promised little Tony Novelli I'd be at his first communion party tonight, and that's very important. See, he's my buddy.
Your Royal High. What does one call a Maharaja?
I'd call him sexy.
Yeah, I had Mr. Houston's guest list, and I know there was one Maharaja's name, but
Maharaja of Ranjipur. It is an honorary title only. I prefer being called Mo. It's short for my given name, Mohandas. I would introduce the lovely lady, but I'm afraid all we have in common is one short elevator ride.
I'm Clover McKenna.
Certainly are. Wow. Jet set everything. Pilot, skydiver, Grand Prix champion. You even had an article in People magazine last week.
Well, I guess that high-priced PR man of mine's been doing his job.
Well, if you will follow me, I would be glad to introduce you to the rest of our guests.
No, thank you.
Of course. And you all know Derwin Dunlop? And of course, Clover McKenna.
By reputation only. Is that a compliment or an insult, Lady Celeste? Make of it what you will. Had I known that you were going to be here.
That will be Mr. Houston. got here.
What? The party start without me?
Well, I wouldn't exactly call it a party, but your guests are here.
My guess. Murray, I did... Murray, what the hell's going on here?
The business meeting you told me to set up.
What business meeting, Murray? The telegram you sent me told me to be here to meet the vice president.
Vice president? Houston, I don't know what you're talking about. This is your party.
Murray, read my lips. I did not set up any party.
Then why did you send me a telegram this morning telling me to meet and greet these guests of yours?
You got a telegram too?
Yeah, it's inside. I don't understand.
I don't either. But I think we better go inside and take a look at that telegram. Well, Clover, I mean, what a surprise. Would you look at you?
Oh, Houston. It's been a long time.
Well, it has been a long time, yes. Well, I've got a problem, Clover. I'd say I'm just wondering why you and all these other people are here.
Oh, you're kidding. Well, you invited us.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Listen, why don't we go meet some people, all right? Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Matt Houston.
Derwin Dunlop.
Derwin Dunlop. It's a pleasure, sir. And you're Maharaja Ranjapur. Nice to meet you. And
Malcolm Abercrombie. My wife, Celeste.
It's quite a pleasure.
Houston, here's the telegram.
Well, according to this, folks, I did invite you all here, but there's just one small problem, see? I didn't send this telegram.
Well, here's the telegram you sent me.
Sunday, 6 p.m., an invitation to a formal dinner to form a multi-million-dollar business combine. It's guaranteed to triple its investment in 6 weeks. And it's signed Matt Houston.
A duplicate of the cablegram I received.
And I.
Well, it is obvious that we have all been duped.
Is someone playing a joke?
If they are, I may know the reason why. But you're not going to like it.
Well, give it your best shot, Maharaj.
Aside from your 2 business associates, Miss C.J. Parsons and Mr. Murray Chase, we all do have something in common. We...
You all right?
Oh!
C.J., call the paramedics, pronto. Get him over to the couch, all right?
Okay.
Houston, all the phones are out of order.
CJ, try the chopper radio. Now, let's get in here. Let's put some pressure on this, would you?
You got
it. Buddy, stay put. CJ, are you all right?
I'll let you know when my heart starts pumping again.
Yeah, what happened?
I reached for the door and something just blew.
It's a nifty little gadget. That's what made it blow. Now, whoever planted that certainly knew what he was doing.
Houston, the elevator doors won't open.
Well, Murray, you got to use the emergency stairs. Walk down.
I tried. The emergency exit's been sealed off from the outside. That door won't budge.
Murray, are you saying that we are stuck in this skyscraper with no way out?
No. That's what I'm trying not to say, but you said it for me.
Houston, this whole thing is getting very spooky. Do you agree?
Yes, I do. Well, you can forget about the radio.
Will the chopper fly?
Not even if Superman strapped it on his back. I'll tell you, we've got no phone, no radio, no helicopter. We got no elevator and no stairs. What we've got is a bomb and a poison dart. It's just not my idea of a fun party.
Well, this is for you. Hey, Paul, Lamar, pull up some beats and have some fun.
One of these days, he's gonna learn to stay on his horse.
Come on in and celebrate my Tony's first communion. Gino, guarda that fine Chianti for Mr. Bowe and Mr. Lamar. By the way, where's Houston and CJ?
Houston and CJ gonna be a mite late, Mom.
Yeah, they had to stop by the office for another shindig first. But don't worry, they wouldn't miss this.
No, sirree, they wouldn't miss this over their dead bodies.
The important thing is to make sure that all those folks out there do not panic. And we got to jump on this thing, Murray. I want you to entertain them and just make sure everybody stays calm. CJ, you've got to find a way to communicate with the outside world.
Well, I've already got Derwin out on the patio trying to attract attention, but Houston, we're on the top floor of a skyscraper and nobody particularly cares.
It's gonna be dark soon. Why don't you use a flashlight to send SOSs? Maybe we'll get lucky, find someone on the ground who reads Morse code.
That's a good idea, Murray.
Maharaj is dead.
It'll be all right.
Don't you touch me, ever.
Charming. Any luck?
I dispatched 2 squadrons of those planes, each with its own SOS message. I managed to attract absolutely nobody.
Well, that's par for the course because there's not much foot traffic in this part of town on Sunday evenings.
Good. That means people won't get wet. There's a storm blowing in.
Phones are working.
Listen, don't talk, just listen to me. My name's Matt Houston. We're stuck on the 4th.
Houston. That's the funeral march.
Yeah, I know, Murray. Someone's got a very lousy sense of humor.
I wonder if he had a family.
I couldn't tell you, Murray. I never met the man before today.
Houston, how can you remain so calm with everything that's going on?
Well, Murray, would it help you any if I just up and panic?
Well, no, but...
Yeah, Murray, listen, now, if it'll make you feel any better, I do have an ace in the hole.
We do?
Mm-hmm. Vince Novelli. You see, CJ and I were supposed to show up at little Tony's first communion party. Now, when we don't show up there...
Novelli will come after us.
That's right. Now, first, I think he's gonna phone. And when that doesn't work, he'll phone again and again.
And he knows we've got 26 separate lines coming in here, 2 backup generators. When he can't get through, he's gonna know something's wrong.
Like I said, Murray, ace in the hole.
How about a drink, your ladyship? I'm buying. Well, here's to marriage. A female plot to add to man's responsibilities and subtract from his rights.
What would you know about marriage? You have never had the decency to marry any of your lovers.
Maybe I've got too much decency to marry them.
Well, it looks like you're hard at work here. Did you find anything out?
Yes. Your piano has been rigged to play by remote control.
Remote control? Is that a sort of channel selector thing like people have on their television?
Basically, yes, but far more sophisticated.
Yeah, well, listen, whoever our mystery man or woman is, they've got a series of buttons that can, well, control the elevator, the piano, the phones. It can even blow up a mini bomb and fire a deadly Death Dart. And I'm just concerned about what they've got up their sleeve next.
You had to ask?
What's going on? I'm supposed to be sending an SOS, not responding to one.
CJ, have we got any more candles around here anyplace?
I'm downstairs in the gym. I'll go get them.
Well, good. Murray, you stick close to her. I mean really close.
You bet, boss.
Thanks, Houston.
You're absolutely positive, operator? Uh-huh. Yeah, well, I just want to... Thank you. Bye.
Hey, Houston's phone's still out of order. Relax, Bill. Go back to your table. Sit down. Eat. Drink. Later, we'll open up Tony's present. That's good stuff. Wonder what they call it. Come on.
Hey, CJ.
That enough light for you, Houston?
Yeah, I believe it is for what I had in mind.
What exactly is that?
Well, I'll tell you, I thought we'd all play a little game called Show and Tell. Now, what I'd like everybody to do is place the contents of what you're carrying right here on the bar.
That is ridiculous. That's an invasion of privacy.
Well, yes, ma'am, you're right. I could not agree with you more, but I'll tell you something. The Maharaja's privacy was invaded something awful, and I fully intend to do something about it.
Well, I'll submit to a body search if you do it personally, Houston.
This is some other time, Clover.
Houston, what is the point of all this?
Well, I'll tell you, Brigadier, have you ever read the phrase in the good book, seek and ye shall find? Well, I'm planning on doing a little seeking and a little finding.
Find what?
Well, hopefully, like a dart gun or a remote control device, anything that the killer might be planning on using on his or her next victim.
Another killing?
That's right, Murray. There's a strong possibility that there could be several more. Because I really don't believe that whoever's responsible for sending him to that big Taj Mahal in the sky went to all that trouble for just one victim. No, I don't. So shall we get started here? Ladies first, hmm? Quite all right, Lady Celeste. If letters are personal, you can hang on to that if you wish.
Thank you.
Well, there's nothing here. Okay, gentlemen. Well, there is no remote control device or no dart gun, so I think it's about time we switch games. Let's say 20 questions. And the first question, ladies and gentlemen, is which one of us killed the Maharaja?
One of us.
Come off it, Clover. I mean, there is a man dead here, and I do not see any other suspects floating around. Now, let's just take it from the beginning, all right? Now, we do have the dart that killed the Maharaja.
May I see that?
Certainly.
This dart is used by Central African natives. I've seen these hellish things when I was there. They're tipped with a deadly, fast-acting poison.
Yes, well, so we've seen. But I tell you, the question is, has anybody else here been to Africa recently?
Just because I've been to Africa doesn't mean I killed him.
Well, I don't recollect anybody saying that you did, Brigadier. Now, there is one other thing that's been sticking in my craw. Yeah, you see, whoever's controlling all these electronic gadgets and gizmos has to be some kind of electronic wizard. I mean, to get in here on Friday after hours and rig the entire place, now that's something.
You mean someone who builds computers? Someone like me?
You're the one who said it.
Well, I'm also saying that I had no reason to kill that man. I never met him before today. and I had no motive.
Well, that is absolutely ridiculous.
Yes.
Of course you didn't have a motive. I
Totally
told you
ridiculous.
before.
Oh, come on, Houston. That's enough of this game.
Oh, now hold on, folks. Just hold it a minute, all right? Please. Derwin, you being an electronic crackerjack of sorts, would you mind seeing if you can breathe some life back in that chopper radio for me?
I can try.
Thank you, sir. Now, friends, we've got ourselves a couple of problems here. One being that none of us here have a motive to kill the Maharaja. Two being that nobody seems to have met the man before today, or at least that's what I've been told.
You were told wrong. My husband, he'd met the Maharaja.
Yes, it was many years ago, in India. I was on a goodwill mission to Rajipur. He must have been all of 10 years old. I'd never have known him after all these years if we hadn't been introduced again today.
Well, that's strike two, Brigadier. Because he said something just before he died. He said, all of us in this room have something in common except for CJ and Murray. Now, does anybody here have an idea of what that common denominator might be?
Hey, Houston, I think I got something.
Everybody stay put, all right? Mayday, Mayday, come in. Can anybody hear me?
Mr. Houston was asking about common denominators. Frankly, Clover, I cannot think of anything more common than you. I know you. Mr. Houston knows you. My husband certainly knows you.
Steady on her, girl.
I have had about enough of your holier-than-thou attitude. No common thread exists. Derwin was a total stranger to me before today, so you can kiss your theory goodbye, Lady Celeste.
I'd rather you kissed my husband goodbye. You adulterous tramp! Ah!
Mayday, can anybody read me? Come in, please.
It's a waste of time, Houston. What I got must have been that radio's death bell.
Houston, I think the natives are getting restless.
What is going on in there? Couldn't you do anything about this?
Thank you, boy. I'm rather enjoying it.
Ladies, come on now, ladies. Enough. You're supposed to be a lady.
Let me go! You're supposed to be a gentleman, not an adolescent schoolboy chasing after a promiscuous chippy. Please, please let me go! I want to get out of here!
There'll be a hot time in the old town tonight.
Somehow I don't feel like dancing. Lady Celeste's purse. Houston, what's the rule on reading other people's mail?
Well, I'd say if it happens to belong to a corpse and the contents of the said letter might save a few lives, my rule is go for it, CJ.
What a ghastly way to go.
I wanted us to be free of her. But not like this. Still, there is all that money.
Well, what'd you find out?
Well, if we were planning a stroll on the patio, our killer just canceled it.
Yeah, well, that's what I gathered after what happened to Lady Celeste.
How does that thing work?
It's an electronic force field. Electric eyes on either side of the door. Break that beam by walking through the field and, well, you saw what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell you what, let's try something. Now, there's no way to deactivate this thing, huh?
If there is, I haven't found it.
Yeah, well, just out of curiosity. Murray, it's a wooden handle.
Great. Now we're really trapped. We can't even get out on the patio to send an SOS.
Well, tell me something, Dr. Wizard. We've all been walking through these doors since we arrived. Why wasn't somebody electrocuted then?
Because the killer didn't want them to die, yet. I figure we'll each be murdered in a different and very bizarre way.
Well, that's a cheery thought. If the killer's as smart as I think he is, he's got every possible exit wired in this office.
Excuse me. Houston, I just read Lady Celeste's letter. I suggest you do the same thing. Now that killer's messing around with my baby. Revenge to Houston 0. So far, you've been shut out.
Yeah, and I didn't even want to play.
The guilty 6 must die, including you, Houston Wonderful.
Yeah, how come I get special billing?
What is this?
CJ, I do believe Mr. Revenge is having some fun with us. He's spoon-feeding us clues.
Monte Carlo, 5 years ago.
Must be Rajapur.
That's the late Maharaja. He's viewing India's Republic Day parade. Who will die next? I wonder if that's a multiple choice question.
Okay, that's it. I'm taking control of baby right now. Touch one more key and you die. Oh, really?
CJ.
Watch this.
CJ, hold it. Come here. Just hold your horses.
Thanks, Houston. That could have hurt.
Mm-hmm.
When's Dr. Houston going to get him?
I don't know, son. I just called his office and the phone is still out of order.
Tesoro, vieni qua, vieni. Come on and dance with Grandma. I want to see you shake, rattle, and roll. Vieni, vieni,
Any word from Houston? No, I'm going to send the patrol car around and check his building out.
Patrol car? You figure something's happened to him?
No, all I know is he's got 26 phone lines, 2 backup generators, and I still can't get in touch with him. If he's in that building, it doesn't make any sense.
You need some help?
Oh, I think I got it here. You know, it looks to me like this was electronically aimed and fired.
At me?
Well, not at you specifically, CJ, but where you were sitting. Now, would you look at this? I wonder what the killer had in mind for this sword.
Not a sword. It's a saber. There's a difference.
Well, excuse me, Brigadier. Don't get your crumpets all bent out of shape. It's just that, well, down home, we call this a Texas-sized frog sticker. It is some handsome handiwork, I must admit. You know, I saw one just like this when I was in England. Judging by the royal crest, I'd say it was from a king or a queen. Tell me something. Would you mind telling me your full name, Brigadier?
What on earth for?
Well, just for whatever it's worth, I guess.
Malcolm James Abercrombie.
Well, I'll be. It's got your initials on it.
May I see that?
Certainly.
It's mine. How on earth it got here, I have no idea. Her Majesty presented it to me 5 years ago.
Another coincidence, Brigadier. Now, have you ever seen that gun before?
It's a sterling. And in answer to your next question, it's made in Britain.
Hold it, Houston. An unused saber and a British gun does not make Malcolm guilty.
It's a good point, Clover, but I tell you something, all these coincidences do have a tendency to add up.
Like neglecting to mention the fact that you had previously met the Maharaja?
Or like the affair you've been having with Clover, which your wife objected to rather strenuously.
Your late wife.
You people seem to have formed some sort of conspiracy to find me guilty of things I'm not guilty of. Why should I kill Celeste? I could have divorced her. It would have settled everything.
Now, I'll tell you something. This is a letter from Lady Celeste to her attorney. Now, it looks as though she was about to tie a can to your tail. She was going to divorce you.
Leave you without a shilling.
That's right. And so you figured the best thing to do was to kill her because you were the only heir.
Rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
Is it rubbish? Now, that fight that she got into earlier, now, you came into the room and all she wanted to do was exit, and you stopped her.
She was trying to get away. Poor thing could never face a confrontation. She always fled the room when one occurred.
That's right, but you stopped her. And I tell you, it looked an awful lot like you just pointed her at that patio door where she was electrocuted.
I did nothing of the kind. What do you people want of me?
Well, I'll tell you something. For the morale of everybody in this room, a full confession would be dandy.
That you will never have. Now, I'm warning you. Houston, I don't want to have to use this.
Why don't you just put it down, Brigadier? I mean, you're not the type to be running around poking holes in people. Besides, it's very uncivilized.
Not to mention messy.
Why don't you just put the frog sticker down, Brigadier, and you and I'll have a little chat. Yourself a seat. That's more like it.
Still in the dark, Houston? Here's a clue or two.
Well, you just keep them coming, Mr. Revenge, because one of these days you're going to slip up and give me one clue too many.
Where did that film come from?
Well, I'm not sure, but maybe you could explain a little bit about it, Derwin.
There's nothing much to tell. About 5 years ago, I had just invented the Exodus home computer. And the California chapter of the American Electronics Association had given me a special award. They named me Man of the Year.
Yeah, well, Derwin, you being the electronical whiz kid that you are, maybe you could see if you can get control of Baby back to us, huh?
I'll give it a try. It'll take some time, though.
Taps.
Yeah, but for whom? The Brigadier or the rest of us?
That's 3 down and 3 to go, Murray.
Houston, something has got to be done.
Murray, I'm working on it.
How you doing, Derwin? Well, it's not easy, Houston, but I'm getting there.
Murray, what is going on? Houston, letting that person work on Baby is a monumental mistake. You said it yourself. Practically everything in this office has been electronically rigged. And Derwin's...
I know, is an electronic genius.
Houston, he's got to be the killer.
Well, Murray, maybe he is and maybe he's not, but I tell you what keeps sticking in my mind is, now, a couple of years back, I had a layover at this airport, so I picked myself up one of those murder mysteries, you know? Well, it was all about a group of folks that were trapped in this house, and they were being picked off one by one.
That's exactly what's happening here.
Yeah, I know, but see, I tell you, the way it ended, it turns out that the first victim really wasn't dead at all. See, he staged his death. And it was him that was picking off the people all along.
Houston, are you thinking...
Uh-huh. Let's go look for the Maharaja.
Houston, they're all gone.
Okay, Bambino. Looks like it's gonna rain. I think we better go home like everybody else.
But Uncle Houston promised he'd be here, and he will never break a promise.
Yeah, I know. It's part of the cowboy code. But something must have come up.
Grazie per tutto, eh? Oh, Carl.
I am.
Okay, Hopalong. We'll give it a little while longer.
You think those...
Lieutenant, I checked out the Houston building like you said. All secure.
Front and back.
Every. Tight as a drum.
Are you sure?
Well, there was something funny.
Yeah, what?
It's sort of hard to explain.
Come on, Carl. Talk to me.
Well, when I walked around into the alley behind Houston's building, there was this... Lieutenant, you're gonna think I'm bonkers.
Come on, out with it now.
Well, there was this old wino sitting there all by himself.
Yeah.
And he was wearing an old, worn-out sports coat. Gray tweed. A dead ringer for the one I owned when I graduated high school.
That's it?
I told you it sounded bonkers.
Yeah, you did say that, Carl. Okay, look, if the gray sports coat shows up again, do me a favor. Don't call me. I'll call you.
Oh, Carl, are you hungry?
On a diet, Mama. I'll take a rain check.
Well, that should do it. I did a bypass operation on her. You should have control now.
I told everybody you were a genius, Derwin. I knew you could do it.
Yeah, listen, CJ, would you put up that Indian parade stuff with the Maharaja in it?
Okay.
Since he was murdered first, let's stick with him.
What do you expect to find, Houston?
Well, hopefully a little proof that I really did read all those chapters in the book.
And the Maharaja faked his death.
Oh, Houston, you took his pulse. He had to be dead.
Either that or he found a way to make us believe he was dead.
How?
I'll tell you, Murray, there's several different ways you can do it. Now, there's some drugs. They're not your average, everyday, over-the-counter drugs, but there's a few of them that will suppress the vital signs temporarily. Now, hold it, CJ, would you blow that up a little bit? Now, before tonight, I never set eyes on that man. Now, I've done business with him in the past, but always long distance. Yeah, CJ, see if you can blow it up just a little bit more.
Sure.
Okay, now freeze that. Okay, folks, meet the real Maharaja of Ranjapur.
So our guest was a phony Maharaja.
That's what I'm betting on, CJ. Listen, would you put up the Monte Carlo shot of Clover? Now, when was this taken?
5 years ago.
5 years ago. Now, why does that phrase keep popping up? 5 years ago. I wonder if that's the common denominator that we've been looking for.
Eastern, I think you've got something. I mean, 5 years ago, the Brigadier was presented his saber. 5 years ago, Derwin won the Man of the Year award. And 5 years ago, Clover won the Monte Carlo race.
But Clover, at that point in time, besides winning the race, was there anything that happened in your life, anything unusual or different?
Nothing I can think of. I won the race, and I flew back to the States a day or two after that. Oh, there was that party given in my honor.
But wait, what party? I mean, who gave the party for you?
Oh, this American I met in Monte Carlo I would rather forget.
Well, has he got a name?
Brogan.
T. Dempster Brogan?
That's the one. Do you know him?
And then some.
Now, I know a Brogan, too. Derwin, do you know a Brogan $5 million worth? Ladies and gentlemen, all the pieces are finally beginning to fit together. You know, we're all our own common denominator here. Derwin, me, Clover, and the late Abercrombies. You see, just 5 years ago, Brogan set up a so-called non-profit organization and built a dam in Ranjapur. We all collectively gave him $20 million to do it, supposedly to help the starving natives.
And Brogan went south with the 20 mil.
Yeah, but then he was arrested in India. On our deposition, he was tried, convicted, and sent to an Indian prison. And I tell you, judging from what happened tonight, I'd say that he escaped or he was released, one of the two.
Houston, are you saying...
Well, Mr. Revenge Brogan, guess who? I know you're in here. And I'll bet you $1 you've been using my elevator to come and go as you please, and I bet you're in there right now. Now, I know you got your heart set on killing me and Clover and Derwin. I'll tell you something, it'd be a very big financial mistake, because if you kill me, I can't write you a big, fat, blank check. No, and I know you got very expensive habits. So what do you say, Maharaja? Why don't you come on out of there and we'll all hunker down over the checkbook here and get this thing squared away, huh? My congratulations on your makeup expertise, Maharaja Brogan.
It's the actor in me, Houston. I always wanted to be one.
I guess killing is a little more profitable, is that it?
Okay. Everyone but Houston, into the elevator. Our friends stay locked in while you and I hunker down over your checkbook.
Now, how do I know that you're not just going to kill us all when I hand over the check to you?
You don't.
Thing hasn't been fired since my great-granddaddy used it in his last turkey shoot. Hey, buddy.
Uncle Houston, I promised you'd come. I knew you'd keep your promise no matter how long it took.
Well, partner, what are you still doing here, hmm?
Houston! Oh, guarda, guarda, guarda. The princess and the pauper. What kind of crazy party you been to?
Yeah, Houston, what happened? You look like somebody used your face for a soccer ball.
Well, it's really not that bad. See, Vince, we went to a terrific party. I mean, all kinds of nifty people.
Real nifty people. Maharajas, the English aristocracy, a brigadier.
Yeah, that's right. And you know how those things are. I mean, we just kind of got trapped.
Good point, Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Houston. I'm so glad I finally got you. I've got good news. The coroner found the other two in the stairwell. And I've got better news. The bomb damage to the chopper, the machine gun holes in the furniture, the broken picture window, and the bloodstains in the carpet, all covered by insurance. $50 deductible.
Houston, what's he talking about?
I have no idea.
It's a $100 deductible.
Better cock your pistols.
You. As heavy as this was, I should have known. I'll take your money, all right. But I would have killed Houston for nothing.
Come on, Houston. For crying
in a bucket. Let's open some more of these.
Well, now, come on, we gotta save a couple for when Mama, Vince, and the kids get here. I mean, they want to open some.
Just one, maybe two.
Bo, didn't your mom ever tell you about what killed the cat?
Well, maybe just one more, I guess.
Well, I hope you got something useful instead of all these toys and stuff you're probably just gonna give to some museum. Happy birthday, Houston. Guess who? Now they got guessing games.
Well, Houston will be able to tell who it is from the present.
We never had all these guessing games in my house. You got socks for your birthday and underwear for Christmas.
Buon compleanno! Ecco qua! To toast your birthday, caro Houston. The best. Chianti Classico, the best.
Well, thank you, Mama. Listen, did you get here all by your lonesome?
No. Vincent just dropped me off. He's going now to pick the boys.
Well, you're going to be sorry that you're here early because you're going to have to listen to Bo and his favorite subject, which is how poor he was.
Oh, y'all go ahead and make fun. I'll tell you, we're poor enough not to waste time on foolishness like this. Look at this, Houston. A mounted rabbit's head and they done put horns on it.
Well, Bo, that's a Texas jackalope. You know, a cross between jackrabbit and antelope.
Jackalope.
Yeah, Mo, they're very rare these days.
Ain't no use at all. Ain't no purpose to it. Wait a minute, it could be a clock. I think it might be a clock. Except where you tell the time's a puzzle.
Why do you think it's a clock?
Because it's ticking.
Oh.
Houston.
CJ, I'm not getting any pulse.
Oh, mio Dio, che disgrazia.
Wait. He's still alive.
I'll call the hospital.
I'm gonna stay with him, all right?
Oh, Vergine Santa, fa che non muoia. Dear God, please don't let him die. Oh, poor Bo. Poor Bo.
Doc. Well, your friend has had a lot of luck. If you hadn't gotten him to the hospital so quickly by helicopter, well, I can't promise he'll stay as lucky. He has a severe concussion. There's a subdural hematoma.
Listen, Doc, if you'll just speak English for me, it'll make this whole thing a lot easier.
But if there are any next of kin, they should be informed.
He hasn't really got anybody. I guess I'm about as next to him as anyone.
And we'll hope he continues to be lucky.
Nurse Bartlett, call physical therapy on 214. Nurse Bartlett, call physical therapy on...
Houston? Houston?
I don't know. The doctors are doing everything they can, but I just don't know right now.
Houston! Houston! Come on, let me help. Will you remember me? I'm the police.
We know who did this, Vince. We know.
No, we don't.
We know who did it, Vince! What's the matter with you? Don't you read the news? Look at this. Huh? This man is a contract killer. I'm the one to put him away, Vince. Now, he swore if he ever got out, he was coming after me. Well, he filled his end of the bargain. He's out. He gave it his best shot. Now it's my turn. This is just a little something for the paper boy, all right?
Houston, you can't do it this...
CJ, we've got work to do. CJ!
Dirk Bronson. We can't really be sure where he is, though, Houston. But his last known associates are labor racketeers. And he worked for this man, Fred Bothig. Apparently they're quite tight, but whether or not Bothig had anything to do with the breakout, nobody knows.
Well, he knows where Bronson is, and that's all that matters.
Houston. You be careful. You be real careful, okay?
Bronson.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bothe.
It's all right, honey.
But I tried to
No,
keep...
it's all right.
Where is he?
What is this? No introductions, no hello, no nothing?
I asked you, where is he?
All right, it's okay. I know who you are. You got out of your depth, didn't you, putting Bronson away? Well, you're out of your depth here, too. Now, if you're smart, you make a U-turn, you get your tail out of here.
Listen, I asked you a question.
All right.
All right. Down by the water somewhere. I don't know, maybe the marina or something. I don't know. I didn't talk to him. I just heard that. You're a dead man, Houston. I mean, you think you're smart, don't you? Well, you're dumb. You're chasing your tail around trying to find Bronson. You got emotional on this one. It's a big mistake. You should have just stopped and tried to figure it out.
So why don't you educate me?
All right. How did Bronson break out? I mean, he didn't blast his way out, did he? You wonder about that, huh? He got out easy. He greased his way out with money. I mean, that's big money, too. Bronson doesn't have that kind of money.
So somebody broke him out?
Yeah, all right, you win a cigar on that.
Just to get to me.
Huh. Oh, well, you win another cigar. All right, who did it, huh? Why don't you try for the big stuffed panda up there on the shelf?
Castanos.
Yeah, I wanted to see that. I wanted to see the look on your face when you heard
I don't believe you.
All right, don't believe it, you know. I mean, that's the word on the street. Castanos wanted to buy Bronson, anybody else to get to Houston.
It's impossible.
Impossible, huh? Castanos does the impossible.
It can't be done, that's all there is to it. Simply no way Mr. Castanos could operate from here. He's segregated from any other of our resident population. He has no visitors. The mail is screened.
No mail in or out, huh?
Mr. Houston, Mr. Castanos is a homicidal, psychotic killer. But this is not Poland, or Uganda for that matter. He is permitted mail. Of course, we would read every word. But there has been none.
None at all.
Hard to imagine, isn't it? One of the world's wealthiest men.
Copper mines, real estate properties, shipping lines, amusement parks, you name it.
Father leaves him an empire, he decides to become Jack the Ripper. Well, when you're through, you let me know. And leave your pass at the gate.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Houston. Happy birthday to you. Did you have a happy birthday, Mr. Houston? I trust at least it was eventful.
It was you, wasn't it?
What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm insane.
Listen, would you get the doctor for me, please?
Houston, a word of advice. Do the things you always wanted to do. Vacation. See those old friends just once more. And if you are a religious man, pray. You ruined my mission, Mr. Houston.
Your mission? All you did was carve up helpless women.
No. My master, Lord of the netherworld, revered be his name, sent me on a mission to find the soul in the body of women Inside them. I looked everywhere. You stopped me from finding it. Maybe, your associate. That C.J. Parsons. Maybe she is hiding it from me. Inside her body.
Listen to me. If anything happens to her...
Temper, Mr. Houston.
You really got them all fooled, don't you? I should have killed you when I had the chance.
You can't kill me. The police can't kill me. How many bullets did it take for them just to capture me? The doctors say I am a miracle, which I am.
Tell me about Bronson.
Bronson is one. There are others. It is all arranged. I have put it into work. They are going to kill you, Mr. Houston. I chose only the best people. You are going to die.
Tough guy. You're gonna talk. It's only a matter of time. Kiss off.
Get it, Vance. He's too tough a guy. Yeah, you see, tough guys, they consider it gauche to talk, especially where he's going.
Back to McNeil's Island. Forever.
Yeah. Yeah, Vince, there's just no way to make a tough guy talk these days. I mean, your old proverbial rubber hose, no, that's gone. It's all a thing of the past.
Hey, pal. You put a mark on me in here, I'll scream for my lawyer.
Well, listen, we wouldn't want to bend your civil liberties. No, we wouldn't want to do that at all. But I tell you what, we might tell a little white lie or two.
What are you talking about?
Well, I thought we'd make a couple phone calls, you know, to the judge, the DA, public defender's office. You let them know just how much you're helping us out here, how much you're talking to us, and make sure it goes on your record.
Yeah, you send me back to the joint with snitch pinned on me, I'll be dead within a week.
Is that right? Son of a gun.
$1 million. $1 million and a ticket to the country of my choice. That was the deal. The price to kill Houston. Yeah.
You sent me a bomb for my birthday.
It was Castano's idea. Castano said he hired 3 people to kill Houston. Who were the other 2? I don't know.
Vance, why don't you make a couple phone calls?
Hey, listen, I'm being straight with you guys.
How'd he get in touch with you?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Castanos. Now, he is supposedly in an institution where he has no contact with the outside world, yet he got in touch with you, he got in touch with the others. He arranged prison breaks. Now, he's got to have a man on the inside. It might be a doctor, it might be an orderly. But I tell you something, you best tell me how he got in touch with you.
There was this guy, an orderly. His name was Felix. Anything we needed, we'd put the move on him, and he'd give us what we needed.
I know Felix. He would cooperate with you even if he was in trouble. I assure you, officer.
Doctor, I don't like to be this blunt, but you're a naive man. Judges do not like to issue warrants to toss a man's room these days unless they have a lot of cause. We've got cause.
Ran a credit check on the man, and he makes $17,400 per year as an orderly in this institution.
I don't know what it is. That sounds right.
Well, Doctor, he doesn't drive a Mercedes to work. Nothing quite that blatant, but he does have a stock and bond account at Eckworth Whitewood and Company that you could retire on. And I'll just bet you it's all due to good old Mr. Castanos.
Doctor, for the moment, we're including you in our confidence, but he must not know we've been here. We'll learn a lot more from keeping him under surveillance than if we arrest him.
Vince, I just came up with a fistful of airline tickets to all over the country. Tell me something. Why would an orderly be flying to all these cities?
Houston, all these airline tickets were to cities that had prisons. But according to Baby, all the cities had prison breaks that were on the same date as the airline tickets. Now, you know about Bronson because you nailed him, but there are two men that you don't know about.
Yeah, CJ, how's Bo doing? Is he holding up steady?
So far, so good, Houston. He's out of intensive care.
So far, so good.
Alvin Ambler, he's a very, very heavy hitter. He's mob-related. He is a recent resident of Walla Walla State Prison, and about a month ago he escaped. He's wandering around out there somewhere. New Jersey State Prison, Clevis Sims. He's a killer. And he's killed in many different ways.
Well, I suppose for $1 million and house of your choice in Switzerland, he probably thinks it's a pretty good line of work.
Houston, these are the men who are hunting you.
CJ, at least we know who they are.
You had dinner yet?
No, I haven't. Where would you like to go,
Well, if I said Tahiti and out of all this mess, you'd say you had things to do. So how about Mama Novelli's?
Sounds good. Why don't we stop to see Bo on the way over there,
You slept pretty comfortable all last night and all day that I've been here.
It's the best thing, Mama. I spoke to the doctor. He's encouraged.
Encouraged? Nice word. But he won't say a thing. Siamo sempre lì. God makes the cure and the doctor sends the bill. Although I must say that this doctor seems to be a good man, huh?
Well, thank you for being here, Mom. It makes me feel better.
Of course I'm here. Where else would I be? Oh, by the way, your friend, Mr. Lamar, he called from Texas. I told him not to fly back. There's nothing he can do. And besides, if Bo wakes up and he finds all his friends gathered around his bed, for sure he's going to think he's dying, and poof, up to St. Peter. Oh, how I wish I had that viliaco that did this in front of me right now.
No, you don't, Mama.
Who is this man that makes war on Houston?
Houston never talked about him, Mama. His name is Castanos.
But is he that bad?
Yes, he's that bad. A few years ago, Houston received a call from a friend of his who was in the diplomatic corps, stationed in Austria. The man's wife had disappeared. By the time Houston got there, they'd found the man's wife. At least they were able to identify her from the dental charts. Castanos left that much. Houston tracked him all through Europe, from Vienna to Corfu, to Rome, to Paris. It was easy because he'd left a trail of bodies. Houston almost caught up with him in London, but the police there got to him first. London bobbies don't carry guns. 3 of them cornered Castanos. He killed all 3, bare hands.
A madman's strength.
Houston continued to follow him everywhere he went. He followed him until he caught up with him again in San Diego, and he put the police onto him there. Our police do have guns. But it took 13 bullets to bring him down. 13. Now you know why Castanos hates Houston. He's on his way to see Castanos right now.
Mr. Castanos. Mr. Castanos. Fellows, I need some entry support, please. Mr. Houston.
Thank you.
Castanos? Mr. Houston's here. He'd like to speak with you again. Oh, come on now. You've had 8 hours sleep like everybody else.
That's not Castanos.
Not him. Call the infirmary.
Now, don't fight me, honey, or I'll have to hurt you.
Officer, this man was trying to assault me. His name is Alvin Amstel.
I have her. Get the door. You can do that at least.
How wrong I was. How totally foolish of me to hire people to kill Houston. Why, that was not ordained at all. Think how much fun it can be. Why, it would be delicious. To kill Houston myself, as it should be.
The police are looking for you. I don't think they realize that this is personal between you and Houston.
Oh, no.
I'll tell them. If you let me go,
The soul of man is in women. Did you know that?
I'll tell them. They'll believe me.
You might be the one. I think you might be.
The one?
We're almost there.
You are really very nice, Miss Parsons.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry. I have to do this now. But it's really for the best. It will save so much trouble.
Damn it, Vince, don't tell me not to lose my temper. Now, you can't tell me in a town with 8,000 cops and one all-points bulletin that you can't come up with one lead.
Look, when I know something, you'll know something. We're doing everything we can. And in the meantime, calm down.
Fine. Would you give me a call if something comes up?
You got it, buddy.
CJ, where the hell are you? CJ, where are you? Castanos?
I have her, Houston. Are you there, Houston? Do you hear me? Houston?
I hear
you. Do you know where I am? It has been closed since I went away. We can have it all to ourselves.
Amusement park.
Why not join me? Just you and CJ and me. Let us see what we can dream up for amusement.
Yeah, well, I'm going to join you there, Castanos.
Of course you are. Because you understand she's merely the bait for you. After you, I'll deal with her. And Houston, I think she's the one. This time, I think I'll find the soul. And Houston, alone. If I see the police, I start to work on her. I have had much practice. I can work very quickly. But then, of course, you know that.
Mr. Houston, I couldn't help overhearing.
Keep it under your hat, would you, Pam?
You have to tell Lieutenant Novelli.
Don't you worry about a thing. I will handle Lieutenant Novelli.
It's just that I'm scared. I've never seen you with a gun before.
No. No, you haven't. This is different.
I know you're here, Castanos. Why don't you come out and show yourself, huh?
Welcome, Houston. You're right on schedule.
Where is she, Castanos? If this is just between me and you, why don't we keep it that way, huh?
Look around you, Houston. I own all that you can see. And now, I own you. And later, I shall own her.
This won't take long, my dear. I'll be back soon. Don't fret now.
I didn't need him anymore, Houston. He would have spoiled it. Your police can find him later. It's just you and me now, Houston, as I promised. So, come ahead. I could have put that one right through your chest.
You swore no cops.
If you got risk leaving her with you, if anything happened to me.
I told you what I would do.
Let's roll. Move out! Houston! It's over! It's over! Nobody can live through that fire we just laid down!
Well, where's the body, Vince?
We'll find him! All right, you guys, check downstream. The rest of you guys fan out. That body's gotta be here someplace.
You all right?
Houston, is it over?
It's over.
Your shotgun, Houston. One shell left, but one is enough.
Now it's over. Oh, my God. He's still alive. Get an ambulance.
I ain't so fragile, I need to be mollycoddled.
I'll mollycoddle you over my knee.
Wheelchairs are for babies. Besides, my head's what's got hurt, not my legs.
Welcome back. Hey, listen, how you feeling?
Now you listen to me, Senor Bo. You do as you're told and you behave. The doctor says you stay in the chair. You stay in the chair, capito? Ah.
Oh, there he is. Come on out here. Hey, welcome back, buddy. Good to have you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, it's good to be back. Thank you. Thank you. These things are real.
Oh, he's so stubborn and ungrateful. I mean, he says he don't need no help.
Now, that was this morning before these spells started to hit me. Every once in a while, I feel sort of faintish.
Yeah, well, I'll bet you it's nothing that something cold wouldn't take care of. You know, like a beer, right, girls?
Yeah, I believe you're right. If you angels of mercy would be so kind as just direct me right over to the beer, I sure appreciate it.
This way.
Thank you.
I'll tell you something, Mama. Sometimes I think that old boy's not as dumb as he looks.
I don't know, Houston.
Yeah.
Ah! Get down in that chair.
No, I'll tell him.
CJ, what's the matter?
That was the hospital.
Castanos.
He woke up in the hospital ward, Houston. Laughed at them. The doctors. Said he was amazed they could think he'd ever die. Then he tried an escape. Dove through the window of the hospital room. He was on the 14th floor. It's over, Houston. He's dead.
Come here.
Better cock your pistols.
billion stars. 400 billion in our galaxy alone. I'm awestruck whenever I consider the sheer enormity. And the irony is that we could ever suppose that there might not be other life out there.
We are all world-class scientists, Burke. You brought us out here to verify your alleged contacts. Are you instead going to subject us to a lecture from Astronomy 1?
They'll come. Conditions are right, they'll come.
We have been here 4 hours. I, for one, am very anxious to see what sort of trickery you have contrived. But let us get on with it.
How dare you?
This is me, Mardosian. You might fool these other puppies, but with me, you are out of your depth.
There. There, you see it? Mardosia.
Ah, he's probably drunk.
What's the matter with him? I think so.
Passed out. He's dead. What?
Mr. Houston, yesterday, 5 scientists went into the desert on a somewhat extraordinary project. Those 5 scientists were not working together on this project. They are in competition for the Copernican Award. There is fierce jealousy among them. One of them, Dr. Ivar Mardosian, died.
I read something about that. It was a heart attack, wasn't it?
Yes, well, the fact is, not everything was in the papers.
You mean that there's a possibility that he didn't really have a heart attack, that maybe one of the other
The
scientists...
doctor has been autopsied. And the fact is, a heart attack did occur. But a heart attack can be induced by drugs or...
Excuse me, Ms. Eggstrom, but if in fact you do feel this way, perhaps you should talk to the police because they have resources...
There should be no police, no. The circumstances surrounding Mardosian's death cannot be made public. I must have your word that under no circumstances will you reveal any part of this conversation.
You got it. No,
Oh.
It is the allegation of the other scientists that Mardosian's heart attack took place during the first contact between us and extraterrestrial beings.
You mean like with... yeah, little green ones, yeah.
As in little tiny creatures from outer space.
Yes, well, they did encounter something out there last night.
I'm sure.
Little green
There
ones.
was something out there. Now, what the society wants you to do, Mr. Houston, is to prove it. Either way, verify the contact for us or prove that it was an incredible hoax staged to cover up his murder. You must be the judge.
Okay.
all through here. All through this entire area. It's low-level radiation, of course. Like footprints left behind, evidence of their passing. But Miss Ekstrom must have told you all this. See, they approached from there. Always from the same direction. Then they hovered. And then they disappeared. We were all over, gathered by the motorhome. Mardosian was near the tent. But imagine the moment, to be in their presence. It was like touching God.
Yeah, I'll bet. Well, listen, I understand everybody here the other night was in contention for the Copernican Award.
My husband talks about touching God, and you talk about trivia?
Well, it's hardly trivia. I mean, that is a pretty prestigious award. It was worth $100,000 in cash, not to mention millions in endowments. You get to be in the limelight, get the respect from your peers. It's a dandy award, yeah. Now, from what I understand, Mardosian was the front runner in the race for it.
No one can accept the fact that Mardosian just died. He was too big a man. Well, this was bigger than he was. Mr. Houston, maybe the Copernican Award would be worth killing for, but Carl wouldn't have to. This contact makes the award his. And we have that contact on film.
You mean to tell me everything that happened last night, you got it on film?
That's right. Slides. The contact, the cam people, everything. It's a scientific record.
Well, that makes me feel a little silly. I mean, if you've got all of it on film, then we've got a record of Mardosian's death.
Well, those slides are still in the lab being developed. But we have pictures of a contact of a few weeks back.
This is bewildering. We tell you we have pictures of beings from other worlds, and you wonder about Mardosian's death? Those pictures are worth 1,000 Mardosians. Or Houstons, for that matter.
Sure.
Grandma Houston would probably disagree with you on that.
The cameras are set up to electronically sweep the camp at random intervals. Now remember, these pictures are from a previous contact.
Here. Here they come.
Yeah, it just looks like lights in the sky to me. I mean, that could be anything.
Watch.
Ah, there. This is a craft, hovering directly above our position. And the next frames, Mr. Houston, are probably the most significant photographs ever taken. These pictures were taken after the spacecraft landed.
Stop there. That, Mr. Houston, is an extraterrestrial being. On film. Incontrovertible proof of the first contact between men on Earth and beings from other worlds.
If you say so.
There. There's a head, an arm.
I can't see that.
They didn't come here to pose for portraits, damn it.
No, I'm sorry, but I can't see it. I mean, it could be an arm or a head.
All right. Tonight. You come here tonight.
Darling, please, please. It's supposed to be a top secret. The society doesn't want you to...
The society sent him here to prove this or call you a fraud. You come here tonight.
I'm projecting that conditions will be right. We'll make another contact. And I've asked everyone to be here.
If you met that face to face, would that cure your skepticism, Mr. Houston?
I'll be here. Okay, CJ, let's see the lineup of the people who were out at the camp that night.
Okay, Houston, starting with Ivar Mardosian, the deceased. Now, he is not your stereotype scientist with the glasses and the microscope. This one was referred to as the Rasputin of academia. As a matter of fact, he's a womanizer and a brawler, but tops in his field and first up for the Copernican Award, unless Carl Burke proves his claim that he had contact with extraterrestrial beings.
You mean if I wanted to know who had a good reason for wanting Mardosian dead, Burke would be a very good candidate?
He'd be first in line.
Now, what about Burke's wife? Now, I had a chat with them. Looks like she wears the shoulders in the family.
Well, she's a top photojournalist. I mean, she's dodged bullets in the Middle East. She's taken photographs of sharks in dangerous waters. She's a tough lady, as you say, but she knows the shot she wants to get, and she gets it.
Yeah, she gets the shot she wants. What about anything else she wants? Like maybe the Copernican Award for her husband?
It's possible. Now, this is Barbara Diane Newton. She's an internationally famous mathematical theoretician. Once upon a time, this girl didn't have a dime to her name, put herself through school with scholarships, and under the patronage of Mardosian. It's not a well-kept secret that her sponsorship by Mardosian was paid for favor. Now, this is Stu Glick. He is ingenious, he's ambitious, and he's one of the bright lights of the future in this area. He's the obvious heir apparent to Mardosian's crown and up for the Copernican Award. The question is, would he commit murder for the science prize?
Why don't I ask him?
Why don't you?
Mr. Houston, I don't know how I can help you. You see, it was on us, hovered over us. Then it was gone. Now, I don't know of any man-made vehicle that could maneuver that way.
In other words, you think that whole contact was real and not just an illusion?
What, to fool 4 world-class scientists? No, Burke isn't that smart.
Well, now, if it could be done, who is smart enough? Who could do something like that?
Me. I mean, why be coy? I'm a very bright guy. After Mardosian, it was only me, which means you needn't bother asking your next question.
Which is?
Could the whole thing have been rigged to cover the murder of Mardosian?
You are a smart guy. Well, what's the answer?
No way. If that had happened, I would have sensed it. I worshipped the man.
Yeah, well, the word is that he was about as popular as a cat in a mouse house.
Of course they hated him. He was a genius. Believe it or not, Mr. Houston, all my life, people have hated me.
May I help you?
Yeah, my name's Matt Houston. I'm looking into the Mardosian death, and I understand you were out there the other night. Did you believe everything that went on out there?
Do I believe, Mr. Houston, in what went on the other night? In other beings? I have spent the past 11 years researching just that subject. You bet I do.
Listen, I understand Dr. Mardosian was working on some similar projects, too, and I wondered how...
Let's cut through all this, Mr. Houston. I had an affair with Mardosian. That is what you wanted to confirm, isn't it? I do wish it were more of a secret, but it isn't. So I live with it.
Well, yes, you're right. I'd heard that he'd taken advantage of you.
Well, at least I can claim my youth as my excuse. Some women never learn. Oh, that's right. There was more than one lady out there that night who had been, I believe the old-fashioned term was, wronged by the man.
Cheryl Burke, Dr. Carl Burke's wife?
Houston. I'm sorry the evening hasn't been more interesting for you, but waiting is the biggest part of science.
Well, I don't mind the waiting. I mean, this is all new to me. It's fascinating.
Yeah, well, the wind may jinx us. We've only been able to make contact when conditions were just so. I don't know why that is.
Listen, Miss Berg, I've got to ask you a question. It's usually none of my business, but can you tell me a little bit about your relationship with Mardosian?
That was over practically before it began. Why dig up that dirt?
You know why. It's because I have to.
Well, you didn't know Mardosian. He was dashing. His beard, his hat. He overwhelmed you.
Keep coming out of it, Houston. Come on. Attaboy. Attaboy, keep coming out of it. Houston, you've been scaring the pants off me. No, just lie back. Don't do anything now.
What about your pants?
Oh, good. At least you're human again.
Human again.
Well, Houston, for the last hour you've been talking about little green men and spaceships, really very spooky stuff. Here.
The last thing I remember were some hands. They were reaching out for me. And my car went off the road.
Houston, they didn't find you near your car. You were wandering around on the road like you were drunk. Now, one of the policemen recognized you and called Vince Novelli, and he sent you back here.
Lights. These lights came up behind me, CJ. They were following me, almost chasing me. They ran my car off the road, and they're these little tiny hands.
Houston, you're beginning to worry me. You've been talking like that ever since I tucked you into this couch.
CJ, what time did Vince Novelli's boys pick me up out on that road?
Early, about 6 a.m.
I left Burke's desert site at midnight. I lost 6 hours somewhere.
Well, Houston, in the state you were in, you could have lost 24 hours. It must have been quite a party.
CJ, I just drank coffee. That's all I drank. Somebody drugged my coffee, CJ. Somebody did not want me to get home in one piece. I've lost 6 hours, and I don't know where I lost them.
Houston, believe me, you fell asleep at the wheel, hit your head. You were hallucinating.
Was I, CJ? Now, I saw something, and it was there. I know it.
Houston, it's this case. We've been talking about extraterrestrials, UFOs. You thought it was happening. See, it's the power of suggestion.
No, CJ. No, it wasn't. It was out there. I saw it. It just appeared. It didn't make a sound at all. No, it just came in quiet. No sound. Now, what flies, CJ, without making a sound?
Vince Novelli.
Mama Novelli?
Yeah, listen, Mama, is Vince hiding out around there somewhere?
Ah, Houston. No, he's here. Un momento, eh? Vincenzo? Vincenzo? Telefono.
Hello.
Yeah, Vince, listen, are you still flying?
Still beating your wife?
What's that supposed to mean?
That's exactly my question.
No, Vance, I'm not getting personal. I'm asking you, are you still flying hot air balloons?
Why didn't you say so?
I just did.
Yeah, when I can find the time. Why?
Because I have to ask you a question. Now, is it possible to fly one of those hot air balloons at night and navigate to a specific spot and then just kind of stand still and hover?
Houston, that's stupid.
Yes, it is, Vance. It's stupid, but is it possible?
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, the hovering is the tricky part. The only guy I know would have a prayer is Marcel Dejean. He's a French champion.
Yeah, I'll bet you he's in town right now.
Yeah, he's in town for the Trans Am balloon race. How do you know?
Some little green man told me, Vance.
Oh.
Vince.
Hi, CJ. How's Houston this morning?
Well, now that's a good question. Let me be honest with you. I'm a little concerned about him. He's been talking about little green men with little tiny hands. Now, that's not like him.
Hi, Houston. Did you take the pledge this morning?
Thanks, Vince.
Now, what about what Houston was saying? To navigate to one spot without sound and hover there. It could be done?
Yeah.
Like I told you on the phone. The only guy I'd know would have a prayer is Marcel Dejean.
Where do I get a hold of him?
His rig should be right over there.
I think I'll have a chat with him. Excuse me, I tell you something. You are just the man I need to see. Hold on. Could you talk to me for a minute? I understand you're a world champion balloonist.
Stand back, I'm about to fly.
Well, I know this will only take a couple of minutes. See, I had to ask you some questions. Now, I'm an amateur, and I was wondering, now, how can you make a balloon just kind of, well, sit still in midair, you know, like hover? I need some pointers.
I don't give pointers.
Well, come on, take a couple of minutes now. I understand that you're the only man in these parts that could make a balloon do those kind of things. Well, it's almost like a UFO.
Out of my balloon.
It's a little late for that. Wait, you're trying to kill me.
No violence. No violence. American. No sense of humor.
I'll show you a sense of humor as soon as we get back down on the ground. It's kind of like the way a hound dog goes after a bone.
Wait. I was only taking off.
Oh, would you come off it now, champ? Now, there was a man killed the other night when you pulled your little UFO stunt out at Burke's place. Now, you're flying yourself straight to jail.
I'm paid to pull off a little joke for that professor, and you're talking jail?
Wait a minute. You mean the professor paid you to pull that UFO stunt?
No, not Burke, his wife. She arranged everything.
Yeah, well, now it's all beginning to make sense.
She gave me $5,000. You think it's a lot of money, I know, but not to do what only I can do.
Just keep going, all right?
Balloons are leaves on the wind. These prevailing winds blow out into that desert. But to pose in flight, I had to invent a machine, like a great fan, to make the craft hover. And then there was rigging the arc lights and the amplifying horns to broadcast the sound.
Yeah, fine. That's all great. But would you tell me something? Now, why'd you chase me in your balloon last night?
I didn't.
What do you mean you didn't? You didn't chase me down the road from Burke's place last night?
Not only didn't I do it, but it can't be done. That's a winding road out there. No balloonist can regulate his speed and direction to follow a car along that road. Not even I. And I can make a balloon dance.
And listen, if you didn't follow me down that road last night, then who did, huh? Oh, boy. As long as we're out here, you suppose you could dance this thing over to Burke's place? Burke! I don't believe anybody's home. Their car's here. Mr. Burke! Mr. Burke! Matt Houston! God, that's gas. Needs a little air. Set field phone, call an ambulance.
Mr. Burke.
You don't bother. He's not in there. You know, I'll bet you somebody turned on this gas while she was sleeping.
emergency. Hello, hello. Hello, I need an emergency ambulance. Ambulance.
This is the sheriff's station. We hear you loud and clear.
Run that by me again?
The door was locked. And like you, I heard the propane gas. I went around looking through the windows, and I thought she was dead.
That is not what I asked you.
When I saw the balloon, I didn't know who you were. And I thought it would look bad because I didn't want to be seen. So I panicked. I don't know what I was thinking.
Would you tell me why you ran?
I cannot take the scandal, all right? Everyone knew about my relationship with Mardosian, and he is dead. And now I thought that Cheryl was dead. There's nothing more I could do to help her. I am up for tenure at the university. I am up for the Copernican Award.
What's going on out here? Yeah, we passed an ambulance coming in. Is anybody hurt?
Mr. Burke, your wife was in that ambulance. It seems that the gas was left on in motorhome.
We left her napping. Oh, my God.
No, Mr. Burke, listen, it's fine. She's gonna be all right, just fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, she's fine. She's taken care of, okay? Now, just relax. Now, I've got to ask you a couple of questions. Now, where were you just before you got here?
I was at the lab picking up the slides of the sighting.
Yeah, are these the slides of the sighting the same night that Mardosian was killed?
That night, yes. And that's why I called everybody here so they could see the slides.
Yes, he called me early this morning.
Yeah. So, with these slides, if they're anything like the other ones, they're going to be able to show us the various different camera angles of the movements that went on in the camp that night, you know, in the so-called sighting.
So-called? These slides are a complete scientific record.
I'm sure they are, yeah. But they also might give us a good picture of how Mardosian was killed.
Not to mention my balloon artistry.
And what does that mean?
You mean he doesn't know? He didn't know the whole thing was staged?
It was his wife's idea. She paid me. Still, we have met, yes.
It was a hoax? Why, Burke, you phony old Dickens, you.
Carl, you have spent years pursuing this line of research. You've compromised your whole life's work.
I have seen them. They are out there. I have made contact. But the scientific community needed proof. And proof takes sitting out on the desert. Proof takes money. Cheryl thought that with the money from the Copernican Award, we could make things happen. They're here, I swear. They're here. They're here.
Fine. Oh, yeah, I know. I'm sure they are. They're here. I tell you what, why don't we just take a look at these slides, all right?
You're not going to see anything on these slides. Mardosian's dead. And And now with Carl and his wife pulling that fraud, well, it's down to you and me for the Copernican Award.
Shut up, Stuart.
May the best man win.
Hold it. Hold it a minute.
Do you see something?
That's Mardosian, isn't it? Yeah, I know it's very hard to make out because it's blurry, but...
It's Mardosian.
Now, a couple of slides back, there was something in the corner. That's it. Look at that. That hand. Now, it's got a wire, and it's touching it to his ankle. Now, the autopsy showed that Mardosian had the same identical burn on his ankle. I will bet you that the other end of that wire leads to a generator.
Electric shock caused Mardosian's heart attack. It's a man's hand.
Yeah, well, it's kind of hard to tell.
No, it's a man's hand.
We know for sure that it's a class ring, and I think all we have to do is just blow it up a little bit to tell which one it is. Why don't you tell us what school he went to, Blick? Save us the trouble of blowing that up.
Hold it! Hold it! You had to keep digging and digging, didn't you? I should have killed you the first time you came up here.
So that was you that was shooting at me from behind those rocks?
Of course it was me. Who'd you think it was? I wanted to make sure that you didn't buy that heart attack. I knew you would investigate. I knew you'd find out it was a hoax. After that, there should have been only one answer. That Burke staged the whole thing to kill Mardosian over his wife.
It might have been a very good reason, but tell me something. Why did you kill him?
Because I was sick and tired of being in his shadow. That's why I killed him. You know what a difference that award would make for the rest of my life? Do you?
So, you got tired of being the protege, huh? That's right, and you couldn't wait for him to retire.
He would have gone on forever. Retire. I had the whole thing figured out perfectly. Perfectly. Except the question mark was that film. It was a 1,000,000-to-1 shot, but I had to figure out what was on that film. I had to find out for myself. Oh, the angles. The cameras couldn't have possibly recorded those angles.
That's right. See, I have a little confession to make. I told my associate, Murray, to doctor up a couple of those slides, and we paid off the lab boys to slip them in with Burke's badge.
How did you know?
You see, I really didn't know, but I had to take a chance. You see, I knew you all wore the same college class rings, but I took a 50-50 chance, used a man's hand. I went fishing, Blick, and you took the bait.
Under other circumstances, I would tip my hat to you.
What are you going to do to us?
Take at least a day or so, if you're lucky, to get out of this desert. By then I'll be in Mexico. Better yet.
No, please.
You. Come with me.
No?
Come on.
Hold.
Now, if I'm to get this thing down on the ground, I'm certainly gonna need you. It's a big cliff. It's coming quick.
How far off the ground are we?
1,000 feet, maybe.
If we hit the cliff, the balloon shreds, we drop like a stone. Throw off the ballast.
The ballast.
Turn up the burner.
The burner.
We're close to the cliff.
We're about 20 feet. Well, it's 15. Oh, we made it. So how bad is that?
I have to be all right. I won't give him the satisfaction of dying.
Vive la France.
Vive le Houston.
Yeah.
There's the Big Dipper. And the Little Dipper. There's Capricorn. And if you look, you can almost see the stinger on Scorpio's tail.
Murray, you don't need a telescope to appreciate the stars. There's just something about the stars. I don't know, something to dream on.
Yeah, something to wish on. CJ, you see that brightest star right up there? They call that the wishing star.
Houston, if you could make a wish, what would it be?
Well, I think I'd wish that I knew for certain what that was following me down the road the other night.
Oh, Houston, we've been all through that. I mean, those police helicopter patrols go up and down that road all the time.
CJ, this was not a police helicopter. I mean, they make noise, and this thing didn't make a sound. CJ, I saw things. I mean, those hands reaching out for me, and the men, the little tiny men.
That bad air could have been the lights of an oncoming car, especially in your condition.
Face it, CJ. Houston had a close encounter. ET, UFOs, all that stuff. Consider yourself lucky, cowboy. You could have been beamed aboard an alien spacecraft. What would you have done then?
Phoned home.